Welcome to Interludes with Chris Mackenzie. And today, a very special guest, Anne Phelan. But Anne Phelan is always a special guest. It's such fun to have you here again in the studio.
Thank you.
And there's a special...
And now I've still got the squeaky chair. I just squeaked on me.
So you have. Have another go.
It's not going to do it.
It's not going to do it now. No, it only does it.
Go on.
The Department of Human Services is bringing a whole new project on, in which you are involved.
Yes, I'm on a task force, as they're calling it, for the Department of Human Services, who are trying to rebalance the images of age in public television and radio, not radio so much as film and theatre.
Yeah.
And the aim is to have a much more even representation of older people. And it's not just about us oldies getting work, although that would be terrific. But when you actually look at the balance, I mean, you look at any of our television shows, for instance, and you know, Blue Heelers, John Wood is the only older person.
That's right. Yep.
Secret Life of Us has actually got younger as the show's gone on. MDA, I mean, yes, some of the guests are older, but really there's only Shane Bourne.
That's
and
right.
Shane's not old by any means.
No.
So the balance, I mean, you know, we are a big part of the population over 50s, and yet that is not represented. And also, and then quite often when we are represented and older people are represented on film or television, they're portrayed as idiots or doddery old people in white, you know, lawn bowls outfits only.
And often very cranky too.
Cranky and the butt of jokes and all of that, instead of, you know, the people we are, which is intelligent, bright, sexy, wonderful people, you know.
Yes.
Exactly. And that's...
smiles all around the studio.
Yes. And I'm being someone who... I'm sort of classed as a character actress, so I've always played older roles. I mean, I was playing older roles when I was, you know, 21. So what I find it very important, and I know from the roles that I play how much people, young and old, love older characters on television and film, and they love the conflict that older characters create.
Yeah.
And it's so much easier for writers to write between old and young than it is between young and young.
Oh,
you know,
yes.
so
I would
much
have thought
more.
so, because there are such differences.
Oh,
Huge
exactly.
differences.
And what we found with Something in the Air on Channel 2 that because that was a lovely balance of the old and the young, and the interaction between the old and the young was fantastic. And my character Mon, who I just love doing, because she got away with murder. But I found that young people were coming up to me and saying, "Oh, we love your character because we love the way you talk to blah blah blah," you know, and because she was feisty,
Wasn't she just?
and she wasn't going to give, and she had a mind of her own, and she had an affair. I mean, she had a wonderful relationship with her husband, but her husband died, and then she had this affair, and people loved it, and it's real. So that's what this task force is all about, to try and convince writers and producers, mainly networks, we have to say, I mean, mainly the producers and the network heads, that not only is it far more interesting to watch, but let's remember that the buying power out there in the community is over 50s. So it's actually good business sense for them, instead of to be aiming at, you know, this 24 to 39 demographic, which they're all, well, certainly Channel 10 are aiming for.
Absolutely.
And yet, funnily enough, Channel 10 probably have more shows with older people than any other station. But, I mean, their balance, for instance, on Neighbours is not too bad when you consider the amount of over 50s who
Does
are in
anybody know
Neighbours.
why the various people so concerned are making these shows have become very much... Not exactly anti-age, but we'll have one. That'll be enough.
Yeah, I think it's
a policy decision. Or
I think it's reflective of everything. I mean, absolutely everything in the world now. Unless you're young, you seem to be passed over. I mean, I remember when my mother was getting older, and just an ordinary street corner now the walk sign. You can only get halfway across the street.
Yes.
When you pick up the phone and maybe you're having trouble seeing the phone number, by the time you've worked out the last two numbers, you've got dial tone again, or it's cut off. Mm-hmm. Everything is very fast and quick. Mobile phones. If someone doesn't answer the phone within 5 rings, people hang up. I'm hardly out of the armchair in 5 rings, let alone getting to the other end of the house. But so I think it's just indicative of that fast, that also that which I think is America-based, the youth culture, you know, the youth and beauty thing, this all this, you know, a cosmetic surgery. I think it's all part of this. I don't know. I think it's a huge insecurity that people are frightened of getting old, and people are frightened of. Some people are frightened. I don't know. Are frightened of reality. I mean, why else would you chop your body to pieces to try and look younger, or take sometimes some dreadful
extraordinary medication
to try and stay younger?
Well, all the things that you've mentioned are things that could be so easily incorporated into films. I mean, whether it's TV,
and we only have to look at the
theatre,
popularity of films, especially Australian films, where older people feature.
Yes.
You know, people flock to it. So anyway, that's what this task force is all about. And
who else is involved?
There's Maggie Miller, the actress Maggie Miller, Alan Hopgood. We have Terry Norris, and then we've got Annie O'Halloran, who's from the Australian Writers Guild.
Yes.
Nancy Cato, who was at Chapel Off Chapel. Starts with a C. And Ros Tataka, she was actually our producer on the first series of Something in the Air. But Ros is now with Film Victoria. So it's a good cross-section of people.
And they all feel the way you do too about this.
Oh, yes, they wouldn't be on the task force.
No, that's what I mean.
But there's some great initiatives. There's $50,000 worth of $5,000 grants for people to develop a television series about older people.
Yippee!
Which is what Hugh Stuckey is already doing. And in fact, in February next year, there'll be public readings at one of those, I think it's Acme at Federation Square. Free.
Yeah.
And especially we want seniors there because we want feedback.
Yep.
There'll be 4 public readings. Anyway, there'll be more about that, and hopefully next year you'll be able to find out all about that.
We're going to listen to some music now.
Okay.
Can we listen to the music and then you tell us who it is? Or you want to tell us?
No, I'll tell you who it is and I'll tell you why I'm playing it. It's Geraldine and Danny Doyle. Now, a lot of people might know Geraldine Doyle as the comedian. Sydney-based, a fairly raucous, upfront comedian. Been in Australia for a long time from Ireland. She's also a beautiful, beautiful singer, which a lot of people don't know. Her brother, Danny Doyle, is a well-known Irish singer-songwriter who lives in Ireland. And this is a CD that they've teamed up on. And this number's called Green Among the Gold. And it's big to do with, well, my Irish heritage, I suppose, and also harking onto my other thing, which I spoke about a few weeks ago, which is asylum seekers and refugees. Wouldn't it be lovely if the ones arriving now by boat got the same welcome that our ancestors got when they arrived by boat? So that's what the Green Among the Gold is all about.
Okay, let's listen to it.
Dusty plains and iron chains met Aaron's sons and daughters, cast upon a barren land, a far-off fatal shore. They dreamed of misty mountains in their home across the water. They sang of Connemara and a home they'd see no more. Now limestone walls are all that's left of times of pain and failure. The country yields the secrets of the beauty that it holds. The tunes of Erin's Isle are now the music of Australia, and Irish hands have woven strands of green among the gold. And so beneath the Southern Cross they sang their songs of Ireland, who sent her sons and daughters here in hungry days of old. They play their jigs and reels beneath the skies of their new homeland, Irish hands have woven strands of green among the gold. Times were hard at home, and so we took a crazy notion to start a brand new life upon the far side of the globe. And now we find our hearts are stranded somewhere in mid-ocean, though our days are full of sunshine and our future's full of hope. Our children sing of droving life, of shearers and bush rangers, and learn to play our music and to dance the steps of old. And though their hearts are in Australia, they never will be strangers to the land we left behind us. They're the green among the gold. And so beneath the Southern Cross they sang their songs of Ireland, who sent her sons and daughters here in hungry days of old. They play their jigs and reels beneath the skies of their new homeland. Irish hands have woven strands of green among the gold. And now beneath the Southern Cross we sing our songs of Ireland, who sent her sons and daughters here in hungry days of old. We play our jigs and reels beneath the skies of our new homeland. Oh, Irish hands have woven strands of green among the gold.
That was Geraldine and Danny Doyle and Green Among the Gold. Now, Annie, I want you to promise that you'll come back and see us another time, because I want to hear how this Human Services project goes.
Maybe I can come and talk to you before we do the readings.
I think that would
February.
Be terrific. That would be lovely.
We were to do them in December, but Hugh got a bit crook, and rather than put him under stress, we decided to postpone it to February.
I think that would be lovely.
Because they are free, and we want as much input from the public as...
Okay, well...
So this particular television series that he's written is set in a retirement village.
Okay. Oh, yes, right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we know that. Well, we'll do what we can to promote it here at Golden Days Radio
Excellent.
Now, you have a project very dear to your heart that you would like to talk about a little bit now.
Is that Positive Women?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I did speak about this a couple of weeks ago, but this coming Monday, the 1st of December, is World AIDS Day. And I think if anyone's seen the papers today, they will see that the world is in dire straits with HIV/AIDS. I'm patron of Positive Women, which is a support and advocacy group for women living with HIV. And our event, like a lot of the events, is going to be held on the 30th, this coming Sunday, the 30th of November, 11 a.m, O'Donnell Gardens, which is right, you know that little park next to Luna Park that actually links Luna Park to Ackland Street. You
mean if I went on the big roundabout, I could look over it and see it?
Yes, you'd look over it. Right. And what we're doing is we have a playwright, Graham Pitts, who has been talking to 6 of our ladies, and he has devised a performance piece based on their stories, and there will be 4 actresses reading that, which is Deborah Byrne, Jacinta Stapleton, who's from Stingers, Janet Andrew Arthur, well known in theatre but also on Neighbours at the moment, and myself. We're the 4 readers. There'll also be Kavisha Matsela, singer-songwriter, who'll be there singing a song, and Jane Bailey, another singer-songwriter, who'll also be singing a song. So it's very entertaining. It's very informative, and we talked just a minute ago about the figures for worldwide for AIDS, and it's fairly scary. And sometimes those massive international figures just get too much, and it all becomes too much, and you actually close off. Because it seems insurmountable.
Yep.
What we're trying to do, apart from address, of course, the worldwide situation, is to bring it back to a human level and to say, look, these people are exactly like you or me. They are not sex workers. They are not intravenous drug users. Some of these women have been married 12, 15 years and then contracted HIV from their husbands.
Yep.
So we want to get the message out there that you can live longer with HIV, but I'm sorry, AIDS still kills.
Yeah.
And we have to prevent it. And young people are not practising safe sex, and also older people aren't practising safe sex, I'm here to tell you.
Yes.
There's the thing known as the Florida syndrome, which is from in retirement villages and things like that, where HIV is actually on the rise because...
Oh, good grief.
Because people, Viagra and all that, and people are having a much longer, happier sex life, but they haven't got the culture of safe sex. And
Now, what I want to know is how long will this go on down at
we're having the City of Port Phillip Lions Club are supplying a sausage sizzle.
Right.
So it starts at 11. I reckon we'll be into the sausages by 12:30. And then, of course, you've got the Sunday market down there, perfect opportunity to do a bit of Christmas shopping. So come and spend the day in St Kilda and start off with us at O'Donnell Gardens at 11 o'clock. I
had every plan to do it, but I can't because I'm going to be on the radio between 11 and 2, and I was wondering, would you still be there at 2 o'clock?
No, I think we'll be cleaning up the sausages by then. But yeah, no, it should be terrific. I'm then off to rehearse for the Melbourne Theatre Company 50th birthday party concert, which is on Sunday night.
Oh.
So I go straight from positive. We're going to have a ball on Sunday night, I'm here to tell you.
Are we invited?
No.
Okay, right.
No, I'm sorry. No, it is an in-house
Very
thing.
well.
What they've done is invited everyone who's ever worked for the company. So the concert hall will probably be full, but it's invite only.
Very well.
Yes. You can
now,
be
we got
envious.
another little bit of music. We got time for a bit more music. This is Judy Small, and she's going to sing Charlesworth Bay.
Yes, this is a bit. This is about all those seaside towns that the developers have taken over.
I have heard the songs about the coal mines stripping mountainsides of beauty. Heard the songs of whales to make a marble statue weep. And I have wept to see the ice run crimson for the sake of human fashion. Heard the forests groaning as the axes cut them deep. But it never touched me deeper than the tears upon my face, and it never lasted longer than a day. Until that summer when I went back home to visit friends and family, and I saw what they had done to Charlesworth Bay. Now it's not the kind of place that ad men want to glorify in posters, not the kind of place to set a greenie's heart alight. And I can't say that it filled my dreams or even held a special memory. But when I look back on my life, it's in my line of sight. And the cry that left my lips that day came not from conscious thinking. I had no chance to think of what to say. It was a grief so pure and deep that I cannot tell where it came from when I saw what they had done to Charlesworth Bay. Now I have spent my holidays in hotels at the seaside. I have stood on sun-drenched balconies and breathed the salt sea mist. But not again shall I lie by some pool or stroll some private shoreline without wondering whose Charlesworth Bay was this. So now when I hear songs of coal mines or of forests gone forever, or of city buildings sacrificed to feed the millionaires. I see again the giant shadow cast where once the marsh and swamp were. Feel again the rising anger and the bitter sting of tears. And you people who tear memories down and call it growth and progress, may you never know the grief I felt that day. For I have never felt so frightened for the future as that morning, when I saw what they had done to Charlesworth Bay. Oh, just look at what they've done to Charlesworth Bay.
That was a rather nice...
Yes, but how many Charlesworth Bays do we know that have been ruined? Those little
almost,
gorgeous little fishing villages that we... And I mean, you have
Absolutely.
to have development, but at least do it in a sympathetic manner.
I don't think they know what the word means.
No, I don't think so, because sympathetic probably means you have to spend a bit more money.
Listen, Anne Phelan, it has been a joy as always, and will you come back next year?
Yeah, I'd love
and talk
to.
about more things?
Yeah, well, I'd like to
Because
talk
your life
about
is
this.
far from boring.
I'd like to talk about this age task force when
Yep.
we get into the performance things, because as I said, it is free performances, and we want people's
Yep.
opinion, especially seniors.
Yep.
We'd love a bit of older knowledge.
We have a few senior listeners here.
I gather that. Yeah.
Let alone senior volunteers. Good grief.
So
Thick on the ground.
I can do that.
Lovely.
Yep.
Okay, look forward to seeing you again in the
Okay.
new year. Take care. Have a happy Christmas.
And you too. Thank you.
Bye-bye. You've been listening to Interludes with Chris Mackenzie.